years ago, a girl named Anne. She always performed badly in her academic. Due to her academic performance, many parents urged their children to stay away from her. All of this happened because parents often think that students who can't perform well will give negative influence to their children in terms of academic and attitude. Because of this, she didn't have much friends in the school, although she always mingled around with a few classmates, but they are not considered as her best friend. She tried very hard to become part of them by understanding their favorite thing to do and chit-chat topic. Since then, school became a nightmare for her and the place where she rejected to go. However, things changed when a new student Wang appeared. She did excellent in her examination result, even though she scored well in her academic, but she doesn't mind to be friends with Anne. What she did is very surprising for her because she treated her as a best friend and she always helped her on her homework, her academic, and even mingle around with her. All these things seem so normal for others, is so rare for Anne. What Wang did is so warm and valuable for Anne. Day by day, Anne is gradually become a more happier person and smile can be found on her face. Wang's appearance helped Anne walk out from the traumatic experience and she finally felt more relieved to go to the school. She also understands that we always have a place to stand. We just need to wait the right one to fit us. All of this experience make Anne understand that we should not change our own character and we just need to be ourselves. She also understands that we always have a right place to stand in the society. We just need to wait the right one to fit us. So, in this story tells us that we should not always compare with the others as everyone is born in unique and different. We just need to compare with our past and not others and try to be a better person in future. And by then, you will be the winner of life. Life is not just good in academic performance. So, this is the end of the video. Actually, the story in this video is my own experience during my primary school. I used to be a bad performer in academic. I hope that in future I will become a better person and successful. Thank you for changing my life, Wang. You are amazing. Thanks so much, and thank you guys for watching.
Hi everyone, this is a story about my transformation and from a mischievous troublemaker to the responsible and well-behaved girl, and all in 6 years. Want to find out what happened in these years and want to know how horrible a kid I was and how lovely I became, and want to know what triggered the change? Spare me a couple of minutes and let my story astound you. I'm going to share with you how my secondary school life changed. I was a stubborn, bad-tempered, and ill-mannered girl when I just entered the secondary school. Throughout my first 4 years, I was notorious in school for having attitude problems and being involved in quarrels and fights. I was always causing the troubles and the teacher were never at ease because of me. So all of this left my youth with a bittersweet memories. I just began my story for preparatory class, and due to unsatisfactory result in my primary 6, and I was required to attend preparatory class for a year and was unable to straight away enter secondary 1. And it was the 3rd year the school was conducting preparatory class, so the teachers were unfamiliar with the teaching, and also our textbook and the material were also limited. This will also caused my friend and I to place little emphasis on our schoolwork. All we knew about was playing and disregarding whatever our teacher had said, even forgoing our homework. Furthermore, I feel that the teacher would look down on us just because we were academically poor. They feel that we were the bad students just because we don't do as well as others better performing students. Therefore, at that time, I just want to be the cool in front of my friends and have the courage to talk back to my teacher, and this made me feel mighty. After promoting to the secondary one, I remained very rebellious and was still breaking all the rules and was lawless in school. Throughout the years, I has caused many nuisance. One of the most significant incidents to me was when I quarreled with my friends in front of my teacher and the entire class. That day, my friends and I were having a dispute in class, and despite knowing the presence of the teacher, and I disregarded him and walked out of my class without notice. After a brief moment, I returned back to the classroom and continued my battle. The teacher stood up and then tried to stop us, but was to no avail. As I was being controlled by my anger, I did not care about my teacher and even took the start of textbook and slammed it on the table and screaming at my teacher and asked him to not bother us. Needless to say, he will walk out of the classroom with my textbook, and I rushed out of the classroom to try to snatch my book back. But how could I possibly be able to snatch it back from a male teacher? So after a brief moment of struggle, and my teacher gave me back my textbook, and consequently, I was as good as invincible to my teacher in lesson. They were no longer bothered by my action and just put their attention to other students. So this, however, did not cause me to turn over a new leaf, and my horrible attitude persisted. Even after promoting to the secondary 2, I was still not repentant. I argued with my friends as I unable to control my bad temper. This happened to be such practical lesson, and the venue was in the lab. And after quarreling with my friends, I went back to the class alone as I was being controlled by my anger, and I resorted to pushing the table over to vent my anger. And the topping of the table caused a loud thud, and unfortunately, this attracted the attention of the teacher from the opposite class. And when she entered the class, I was seen seated on the floor with a toppled table by my side. Of course, the discipline master was being informed, and I was questioned by the discipline master, but the answer to none of the question. And I was given a warning card again, and I had caused the trouble yet again in these years. In secondary 3, I was more furious. I was even suspended from school for 3 days. And what caused my suspension is I slapped someone. That's how it happened. My friend and I, we holding a bottle of the water and full of water, and we made a hole on the cover of the water, and we're chasing our friends, and we spare the water to each other. They smacked the water in everywhere of the corridor. And at the same time, an inspector walked toward us and tried to confiscate my bottled water, and I was very angry about that. And at the time, I thought that you are just an inspector, why are you so busybody to disturb us? And I start quarrel with the inspector. Of course, the inspector also is a student, right? And she angry with me and quarrel with me again. I still remember that the inspector told me, if you are happy with me, you just slap me. So of course, at the time, I cannot control my temper, and I was not thinking the consequences, and I just stepped up and I slapped on her face. And although it's just a simple slide of clothes, but the inspector cried. But I don't care about that. I just step out and then I take my bag and walk out from the classroom and going back home. And unfortunately, on the last day when I'm going to the school, the other inspector looking at me, and she told me the discipline master wanted to looking for me. And after I follow the inspector to looking for the discipline master, and when the discipline master looking at me, then she asked me, do you know what's wrong you are? But I was very stubborn, and I feeling that I did nothing wrong. and if the inspector asked me to slap her, then I just follow the instruction only. And the discipline master can't do much for me, and she just sent me to the principal room. And the principal of the school, the discipline master, and also some of the teacher, they all decided that they want to expel me from school. But luckily, they give me a chance for me. Just because there's there is one of the important girls in the secondary school. All of us have to attend the BMR exam. So the teacher give me a chance and just suspended me for 3 days. In secondary 4, in this year, I didn't want to make any trouble again, and I tried to change my attitude and control my bad temper. I also did not quarrel with my classmate and stop talking back to the teacher. This change is because I realized that I was wrong in the past few years, and another reason is I influenced by a person that is my friend Chopin. Both of us have been studying in the preparatory class, but at the time we are not familiar with each other. So, but in this year, I noticed that she do well in her exam and always get a higher mark in the class, and I changed my attitude to become like her. So I thought that both of us has from the preparatory class, but she can make well in her exam, then I cannot make it. So therefore, I try to know her, and if I face some problem in my study, I will try to ask her. And she is a very kind and unselfish person. After that, we become the best friend in the class and study together. So she also told me a lot of things. This year, I will also be selected as the leader of the history subject, and my math teacher also treat me well. And sometimes if my classmate, they all do not know how to solve the mathematics question, and I will actively to teach them. So even so, by the first of the year, I did not do any trouble, and I get a good result in my exam, and I pay attention during the class period, and I also study hard in every subject. And I still remember that once of my class was very noisy, and my friend asked me to shut them quiet, but I answer my friend, don't bother that, you just continue your study. And my friend was very surprised of my answer, and she told me, you already changed a lot. So however, by the end of the year, I still met some trouble in these years. Is during the tutorial class, and there's not teacher in the class, so we can do our own thing. And I decided to memorize some history, and at this time, some of my classmates, they all make noise behind the class, and I tried to shout them be quiet and not making a noise, but they all keep on and don't bother me. By the time I was very angry, and I cannot control my temper again, so I just stand up, I pick up the chair beside me, and I throw it to them. I know that it's a very dangerous action, but I don't think so much because I already warning them. But they all keep doing that and not bother me. So I was very stressed at the time. So due to they are too noisy. Luckily, this action did not get hurt to someone. The chair is dropped onto the floor in front of them. So my classmate was very angry, and she reported it to the discipline master. And once again, I look into my discipline master, and I explained all the things to the discipline master, and also admitted my mistake. And the discipline master, she warning me and give me the warning card to be fair for them. So after that, she just let us back to the class, and my friend Chopin, she advised me, don't do it again, and try to learn how to control your temper. So because she is a good temper person, and she can greatly influence me, so I promised her I will I will not do it again. In secondary 5, this year is the last year of the secondary school, so I have not still out any problem in this year. So I finished this year in the happy condition. This year, we are faced with the SPM exam, so we strive to study and try to get a good result in SPM. So during these years, I still follow my friend Chopin, and she often helped me when she is in the tutorial class, and she get the notes that is helpful, notes that are helpful for me to me. Then she will copy one more for me to get back rate. So besides that, I am a person who like to play more and also naughty and as well. So sometimes if I'm studying and I hear my friends they're talking some gossip, and I will put down my book and join them to chat with them. So by the time the tripping was hit me, and she asked me to study seriously and don't read the book assembly. So she will always supervise me, ask me concentrate on my reading, and do not absent-minded listen to others talk. And because of that, because of her, so I changed my terrible temper and become a good student in the class in the school also. So the teacher also surprised of me and changed their expression on me. Everyone say that I'm changed a lot. So and some teacher also helped me to get a good result. They prepare a lot of the reference book for me and help me to solve some question if I face some problem in my study. So this is my happiest year during my secondary school compared to the previous years. And secondary 5 is my most joyful time in my secondary school. And finally, if you ask me why I have become a good student in school, I think that I have been influenced by my friend Chopin. She is a disciplined student and a kind person, and she also is my role model. And I also believe that friend is to have a big influence over how you feel, you think, and you behave. After the 3 months, when the SPM result came out, then I get a good result in my SPM. And I'm so glad Chopin and me, both of us are sent to the same school to pursue our Form 6 peer university. Although both of us didn't get the same university now, but we still are the best friend, and I will remember Chopin in my whole life. This is my life changing within 6 years from a bad student to the good student. And thank you.